Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's do the unboxing and have a look at this Realme 5S. And guys, if you recall, just a few months ago Realme has launched this Realme 5, and this Realme 5S is nothing, as you can see from the box, also almost identical. The only big difference is that this came with a 12 megapixel main rear facing camera. It also had a quad camera, but the main camera was a 12 megapixel. On this one it's a 48 megapixel. Apart from that, it's almost the same. And I don't know why. Realme should have changed some other significant specs also, but anyways, let's open this up and you get this some paperwork over here. I'll just keep that guide and all those things, and you also get this case like we are getting with almost every phone these days. That, and here is the device itself. This one is in this red color this time, and this also has that diamond pattern. I'll just remove this if you look at it, and let me bring this original Realme 5. I also have that, and as you can see from the back, looks almost the same. This is the original Realme 5. The only difference is that 48 megapixel. Apart from that, almost the same, as you can see. Anyway, I'll just keep that to the side. Let's see what else do we get, and let's see if this is USB Type-C or not. So hopefully this is USB Type-C, so that's actually nice. And let's look at the charger that is given, and looks like this is a normal 10-watt charger. They should have provided a fast charger at least on this one, because it has that 5000 milliamp hour battery, but this is what we get in the box. So let me keep this to this side and let's look at this one. And again, we have that plastic polycarbonate body, but again it reflects like this, as you can see. On the top we have actually nothing. On here we have the power on off button, and bottom will be the vent for the main speaker. This is the Type-C port, main microphone, 3.5mm headphone jack. Here is the volume rocker, and let's see if it gets a dedicated slot. Storage is in two variants. You get 64 or 128. Again, it already started. Anyways, here we have a dedicated slot for the micro SD card slot, and two, so that's actually nice. And back, as you can see, that we have the quad camera set up with this fingerprint scanner over here. So actually let me set it up properly, then we will continue, guys, again at this set, but let me set it up properly. Meanwhile, here are the specs. The Realme 5C is having a 6.5-inch 720p HD plus IPS LCD screen. It's powered by the Snapdragon 665 SoC. It comes with 4 GB of RAM. Storage will be 64 or 128. Moving to the rear quad camera setup, the main camera is a 48 megapixel. Then we also have an 8 megapixel that's ultra wide. Then 2 megapixel is the macro lens, and 2 megapixel is for depth. Moving to the front facing camera, it's a 13 megapixel shooter, and we also have that 5000 milliamp hour battery. So guys, I've set up this device. Again, typical color OS that you're getting, and again a bunch of junkware is installed like UC browser, daily hunt, etc. So that is there, as you can see. And yes, UC browser came. Let's uninstall that. Yes, you can uninstall the junkware, but there is some junkware that is installed, as you can see over here. And I'm just going to press OK. And left we have the smart assistant. This is a typical color OS 6, and I don't get it why now, if they have launched this new variant, the 5S, at least the screen, they should have gone with the 1080p screen, but it's still 720p HD plus screen on this one. And it's the same processor, that's the Snapdragon 665 SoC. It's not bad, but when you're releasing a new variant, you should have upped the processor to, let's say, a 675 or something like that, but that's not done. The only big difference is that 48 megapixel on this one. Let's look at this fingerprint scanner. Again, as you can see, it is responsive, so that's not a problem. That's very responsive. And let's see if we go to about the device, how much storage and stuff is actually left on this one. And if you go to about the phone, it's still running on Android version 9 with ColorOS 6.01. I hope ColorOS 7 comes, because that's just going to release by next week. This is the higher end variant that comes with 128 gigabytes of storage, but RAM is same. That's 4 gigabytes of RAM on both the variants. So again, that is something you have to note. So let's just go back, and I would say if you're going with this one, just go with the base variant, because even the other variant has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you have that micro SD card dedicated slot. So again, that's what I would say. But now let's look at the camera on this one, because that's the main big difference. I would say this one has the new 48 megapixel camera. So let's have a look at the same. So let's fire this up, and this is the regular mode. As you can see, 1x. It will also have the 2x. Because of that 48 megapixel, you can get some decent shots, even 2x. And 5x, just don't do that. It's digital zoom. It'll be really bad. And here you have to click for the wide angle lens. That's an 8 megapixel wide angle lens that you have. And obviously you have the portrait mode and stuff. You can bring objects nearby and you'll get that background blur. I'll show you some samples later on. So you have that. And front facing is supposed to be 13 megapixels. So let's look at it. This looks good, but again, the beauty face and all those things are enabled. So again, disable that. Otherwise, it will look a little bit weird. Again, even in the portrait mode. Oh, sorry, it went there. Again, we have the beauty mode here. Also, you have to disable it. Smoothing of skin. See, even if you disable it, yeah, that's what it looks. Reset. No, I want to remove. See, you have to go individually and remove all these things. But anyways, that's how it is. Let me do one thing. Let me actually show you some sample shots so that you get a better idea regarding the camera. So these were the samples taken with the Realme 5S, and as you can see, it actually did a good job. This is 1x, 2x, and this was that 5x zoom. And finally, this was that wide angle lens. And again, these are some general shots, and as you can see, it did actually a pretty good job. Has a lot of detail. These are some of the close-up shots that I have taken. And now moving to semi-artificial lighting conditions. Here also, I felt it actually did pretty well, considering this was taken in completely artificial lighting conditions. As you can see, yes, there's a little bit of softness, but overall it did a good job. These were taken in completely artificial lighting, and as you can see, it did a good job. And this was with the portrait mode enabled, and even with the portrait mode, I feel it actually did a good job. And this was taken with the wide angle lens in artificial lighting. Now moving to the front facing camera, the front facing camera performance is also actually really good, as you can see with these samples. But when you enable the portrait mode, the background blur is good, but again, it does apply that extra skin smoothing, so you have to turn down those options. So guys, that's it for now for the unboxing and first look at this Realme 5S. So what do you guys think about this device? Again, as I've mentioned, it's almost the Realme 5 with that 48 megapixel camera. And I would suggest Realme to be a little bit careful when they launch new devices. When you launch a new device, it should have a significant difference just by changing one thing and launching it as a new model. I don't think so. That's a pretty good idea. But anyways, what do you guys think about the same? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.